Hello, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to ACE Tutor Point. Today we'll see learning theories and behavioral changes, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, insight learning, transfer of learning, motivation. So what you will learn today is Pavlov's classical conditioning, Skinner's operant conditionings, Thorndike trials and error, Kohler's insight learning, transfer of learning, motivation, interest and readiness. So first we'll go through classical conditioning. Pavlov's classical conditioning theory. So it's a Russian psychologist and neurologist. Nobel Prize 1904. Also known as traditional conditioning, simplest method of learning based on association, a frequent and predictable response to stimuli in a given environment. A series of experiences where one stimulus evokes a response associated with it. Key formula is neutral stimulus, unconditioned, unconditional response, conditional stimulus, conditioned response. So Pavlov's experiment is step by step we are going. So in the first step, set up dog tied to experimental table with measuring devices, observer hidden, all distractions removed. Second step, bell plus food. In this, bell was rang while food was presented to the dogs simultaneously, several times repeated. Third step is measurement. Amount of saliva secreted was recorded after each trial. Natural stimulus, that is food, caused salivation. Fourth step is conditioning. After trials with no food, bell alone caused the dog to secrete saliva. Next is we'll go through Watson's experiment and educational implications. Watson baby experiment. Subject is 11-month-old baby boy. Natural response, baby liked the white rabbit and was pleased to touch its fur. Conditioning, loud noise was paired with the rabbit rapidly. Result is baby developed fear of the rabbit even without the loud noise. Conditioned response. Educational implication is association plays a great role in all learning. Artificial stimulus can evoke natural responses. Conditioning helps develop desired habits. Positive reinforcement creates good learning atmosphere. Fear of school can be eliminated via positive conditioning. Parents and teachers must develop appreciations, attitudes, and interest in children. We'll go through operant conditioning, that is Skinner's operant conditioning. Operant conditioning refers to a kind of learning process whereby response is made more probable or more frequent by reinforcement. Its implication is successive approximation, reinforcement, behavioral therapy, eliminating negative behavior, behavior modification, basis for programmed instruction. Skinner's box, grid flow, delivers food, water when lever pressed. Lever connected to recording system, light or sound, cue signal for the rat. Food palette, that is reward on correct response. Recording, that is tracks response frequency. We'll go to behavioral modification and shaping, operant conditioning application. Shaping behavior. Complicated behaviors can be shaped through successive approximation, rewarding each successful step closer to the goal. That is example, teaching a child complex skills. Behavioral modification. Shaping may be used as a successful technique for making individual learn difficult and complex behavior. Uses a conditioning technique to shape desirable behavior and eliminate undesirable ones. Eliminating negative behavior. Extinction. When a learned response is repeatedly performed without reinforcement. The strength decreases progressively until it disappears. Behavioral therapy. Operant conditioning has also been used as a form of behavioral therapy. Behavioral therapy attempts to treat socially maladaptive behavior by reinforcing and executing it. Reinforcement in classroom. Operant condition has valuable implications. Schools can eliminate fear by using positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is perhaps the most widely used technique. Successive approximation. The theory suggests the great potentiality of the shaping procedure for behavioral modification. Operant conditioning suggests rewarding closer and closer responses to target. Next is a trial and error, that is Thorndike trial and error theory. Law of readiness. A learner's state of preparedness and eagerness when ready to learn, satisfying when not, annoying. Law of exercise. Repetition strengthens connection. More practice, stronger stimulus minus response bonds. Law of effect. Responses followed by satisfaction are strengthened, those followed by discomfort are weakened. Thorndike's educational implication. Strengthen SR bond. Teacher must try to strengthen the bonds between stimuli and response of the things to be remembered through connections, drill and reward. Readiness to learn. Child must be made ready to learn. Interest, aptitude and mental preparation are essential for smooth sailing in the teaching learning process. Encourage comparison. Child must also be encouraged to see similarities and dissimilarities. Help students compare and contrast to respond to stimuli and form new knowledge. Next is independent problem solving. Child should be encouraged to do work independently and must try various solutions before arriving at the correct one. Reward positive behavior. This technique simply involves providing a reward for positive behavior. The reward can be a high grade, a pen, a smile, a verbal compliment in school settings. Next is programmed instruction based on operant conditioning teaches through a set of specified behaviors. Machines and computer assisted instructions have replaced usual classroom instructions. We'll go through insight learning, Kohler's insight learning and Gestalt psychology. Perception always involves the total situation. A thing is perceived as a problem of organization, a relationship within a field which includes viewer purposeness and previous experience. Kohler's criteria for insight is situation as a whole is perceived by the learner. Learner tries to see and judge relationship between various factors. The solution comes prior to meaning and making it analogous. Insight involves sudden grasping of the solution. Sultan's experiment. Banana hung from cage roof too high to reach directly. Box placed inside. Sultan tries jumping but failed. Sultan used a box as a platform, still couldn't reach. Suddenly Sultan got an idea, placed box below banana, jumped and got the banana, insight achieved. Later experiments, two sticks joined to pull banana. Here Sultan is a monkey. Monkey name is Sultan. Next is transfer of learning types and factors. Definition: the carryover of knowledge or thinking, feelings, or working of knowledge acquired in one situation to help the student learn anything in the classroom or in a real life situation. Positive transfer: when learning is one situation helps learning in another context. Example: learning violence helps you learn piano. Knowledge of maths facilitates physical learning. Negative transfer: when one task makes learning another either by incorrecting linking information. Example: speaking Malayalam hinders Telugu, left hand driving hinders right hand driving learning. Next is neutral transfer. also called zero transfer. Another task has no effect on learning. Example, knowledge of history is no transfer of driving. Identical elements in two situations don't always transfer. Next is motivation and readiness. Role of motivation, interest, and readiness in learning. Motivation. A motive works as a source of energizer for something. Energy is compassed to act toward desired goals. Motivation energizes learning and guides academic and career development. Next is interest. Interest combines effective qualities such as feelings, enjoyment, and perceived value. Interest is a powerful motivational process that energizes learning. Students with academic interest are better prepared for high school, college, and satisfied careers. Readiness. The law of readiness. When a learner is prepared to learn, satisfying; when not, ready, annoying. The degree of preparedness and eagerness to learn determines success. Quick comparison. All learning theories. Pavlov's theory, classical conditioning, dog plus bell plus food. Core concept is stimulus response association. Educational uses, habit formation, fear reduction. Watson theory, conditioning, baby plus rabbit plus noise. Core concept is artificial stimulus is natural response. Educational use, desensitization, attitude formation. Skinner theory, operant conditioning. Rat in Skinner box. Reinforcement shapes behavior. And educational use is programmed instruction reward systems. Thorndike is a trial and error theory. Cat in puzzle box. Laws is readiness, exercise, effect. Educational use is drill, reward, sequencing lessons. Kohler's theory is insight learning. Sultan, that is champ by banana. Sudden perceptual recognition, problem solving, discovery learning, its educational use. We'll go through a key takeaways. First, classical conditioning. Learning. Associating a neutral stimulus with a meaningful one through repetition until the neutral stimulus along triggers the response. Second is operant conditioning. Behavioral is shaped by its consequences. Reinforcement increase desired behavior, extinction removes unwanted ones. Third is trial and error. Learning occurs through random attempts, with successful responses being stamped in via laws of readiness, exercise, and effect. Fourth is insight learning. Through understanding comes from perceiving the whole situation, not parts. Sudden reorganization of perception leads to problem solving. Fifth is transfer of learning. Knowledge from one context can positively, negatively, or neutrally affect learning in another. Teachers must facilitate positive transfer through comparison. 6. Motivation and readiness. Teachers must arouse interest, build readiness, and maintain motivation. These are key conditions for successful and lasting learning. So this is it from today's session. Hope you have learned something new today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and never miss to press the bell icon as you never miss your update for the next video. Thank you for watching. Till then, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you.